But people told me if you have the ability to do Upper Pisang, maybe the highlight of the whole trail. Okay, so when you get to that split, you know, it goes really high in the mountains and you trek for a few hours in high elevation. It may be a long day, 9 hours of hiking if you do that, but keep that in mind. If it's not snowing, you have the energy, try to do Upper Pisang. Next, Manang. Manang was my favorite place on the trail. You actually have to stop there for one day to acclimatize. It's a must. Everyone will tell you you need to stop there 1 day of rest and acclimatization. There's actually a altitude clinic there. They give great lectures about altitude sickness. Worth going there. It's free. They operate on donation, so you can buy something, give them some money. Very interesting lectures because it's a topic that you can talk a lot about it, and you have to have doctors that actually have studied this. Manang, we make it very comfortable for you to spend a day or two there. Along the way, there's not a lot. The tea houses, the guest houses. You get to a village, you just stay in your guest house. That's it. You hang with your fellow backpackers, travelers. But in Manang, they have bakeries. And after 10 days hiking without eating a lot of other stuff, there's bakeries, everyone love it. Go buy some apple strudels and some more, calories that you need. And they have video parlors, so you can watch movies, they have internet, very slow, but you can tell the folks back home, I'm okay, I'm in Manang. What I say about altitude is that you should get to a point, you should hike a bit above it to get used to it, and then you should go down. But I stayed there a few hours too long. I got back, I was dehydrated, I started having dizziness, and my porter tell me, okay, so tomorrow we go. And I told him, I don't think so. I'll tell you in the morning. And he every day comes to me and tells me, okay, everything packed, and I like to organize my backpack, and he's already ready to go 7 o'clock, because he's used to the busy season. And during the busy season, you have to get to guest houses, and there's almost a competition for beds, for to sleep. Much worse on the Everest region, but he wanted to go there, get a good guest house, they want to know. So every morning, he comes to me the next day, you're ready to go. I said, no, I'm going back to my sleeping bag. So yeah, stayed there in Manang 3 days instead of 1 day. Started taking my Diamox pills, I think. Again, don't quote me on the medical stuff. I felt better, and then I continued to take those pills until I got to the other side of the trail, until it started going down. And 5.5 kilometers up there, and you're going to wake up at 4 a.m. to start doing it. I expect 9 to 10 hours of hiking that day. The first 4 hours, you wake up so early because it's very windy at the top. And if you get there by 10 or 11, it's not going to be too comfortable. Even when I got there, the winds were pretty fierce and it was very cold, And there's actually a small tea house there. They sell hot chocolate and coffee, and that was the best hot chocolate I ever had in my life. So just to have that there. The pass itself, the views are not that amazing compared to the viewpoint next to Manang, but the sense of achievement, just getting there, just knowing that you did it. And seeing some people who haven't done it. I met some people, 15 years younger than me, they just didn't do it. And I said, my God, some Israelis fresh out of the army, strong, ready to go. They carried their stretchers and they couldn't finish it. And I made it there. Great sense of achievement. And this picture was taken the day before. We just did a small climb, practice climb, again to get that going up a little bit and then going down. But that's the way to the pass. For about 4 hours, when you get there from Torong Pedi, it takes 4 hours to get to the pass, and then you start going down, which takes about another 5 hours. And like I say, again, you find out that when you trek, going down is much harder. There was snow there. It was very slippery. Really, the hardest part of my whole 34 days hiking in Nepal was this part.
Did you use any crampons at any point of the trek?
I want to talk about crampons. Okay, excellent point. When I finished that part, I got to the other side. I go to my porters, okay, and I tell them, guys, I wish I bought crampons. You know, who knows what crampons are? Everyone knows. Simply put on your shoes. And they start laughing at me and say, look at this crazy guy. He wants to hike with crampons. You know why? And they didn't get it because for them crampons is what people use on the Everest for mountaineering. This big giant thing that you stick in the ice and you climb like this or with ropes. I told them I needed crampons to walk on the ice and snow going down from the pass. And in fact, I saw a couple, you know, much older than me, and they're walking like they're walking in the park. You know, I was like this, with my trekking poles like this, step by step. It's funny, but when you're there, you know, going down 5 hours on snow and ice, you know. So I tell these guys, I want crampons. They laughed at me, and I told them, you know, I don't mean this big one for mountaineers. I mean something small, like this guy said. What they had were yak trucks. You can get them in sports stores here. They really chains that go on your leg like a car. You know, they give you much better traction when you go on snow and ice. They're very light, so they're easy to carry. You can get them in Kathmandu. It took me a while to find them because people buy them a lot there, so they run out.
That was enough.
Huh?
It was enough. You don't have to buy.
I didn't.
crampons.
No, use just a yak truck.
Yeah, they are just enough.
Yeah, they should be. That's what I saw this older couple do. You know, that's what they had. They walk great. I'm telling you, they did like this. You know, I was, my God, you know, I wanted this. And I bought them for the Everest. When I went to the Everest, I bought something like that. Get it. You might use it one day. You might not use it at all. Trust me, you would be glad that you got it. You know. What other people told me they can do, you can take ropes and tie around your hiking shoes. Okay, that will give you more traction. Or you can just use the trekking poles and you know, go down step by step. You know, the last part of it, I literally skipped. You know, I went like this and skipped. I was tired. I just fall. You know. Muktinath is it's a religious center. That's where the road starts. So they build the road to allow people who don't want to trek but want to visit the important temples there to ride there comfortably. The feeling change. You come out of the mountains, the feeling that you are in nature, and suddenly you have the road, you have scooters, you have beggars. This guy was very nice, but some other guys were very aggressive. Hey, we want some donation. You know, so I didn't like it so much. I also stayed in a guest house that was cold and too expensive. I expected the quality to improve. It wasn't so much. On the way down from the pass, you'll arrive at a small village an hour before Muktinath. Consider to stay the night there. Then on the next day, in the morning, you go to Muktinath, see the temples, and continue on. You know, you can take the jeeps. Just my recommendation. I like the feeling of nature. I didn't like the feeling of a big sort of busy town. You know, suddenly you come from the mountains, boom, busy town. Marfa and Tatopani. Marfa was one of my favorite spots in Nepal. You know, it's a really nice town. The views are, you know, you get up of the high mountains, it's not so high, but the quality of the guest houses there, Western toilets after almost 2 weeks. Okay, hot showers. They have you control your own. They have small boilers, good food, really nice, clean town. It was great to spend one day there. It's a bit more expensive, but by $1 or $2, just nice to relax there, you know. So remember that name because many people pass it on their way to Marfa. And then Tatopani has hot springs, and you go there and you see just a concrete pool. It's not something very fancy or beautiful, but your muscles would love it.